Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be talking about something that I think a lot of people understand and know, but I just want to put my 2 cents in it, and that is why the Libertarian Party cannot get people elected. And it's pretty obviously from what you can see. They dropped 2.10% from 2016 to 2020. In 2016, I think they got roughly a little more than 3%, Gary Johnson did, and they were all excited. They were like, this is the new beginning for the Libertarian Party. And then they dropped 2%, and they still did better than what they did in 2012, but not by much. And I think the reason for that is that they just don't really care. They literally just get the participation awards, like in elections. They just kind of exist. They don't if they don't run very well. They don't run their campaigns very well. They don't have good candidates. They don't have good publicity. They don't do any of that, and that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So I'm going to be discussing a little more in depth in that and what I think their strategy could be moving forward. So the first big and biggest issue is their poor use of funds, and that is, they beg people for money. They use it and they say, "Oh, we're going to win." And then they have horrible conventions. They have absolutely awful candidates that just make people think they're a joke. And they waste all the money on presidential campaigns. They have no chance of winning. If the Libertarians really wanted to get elected, they would focus on a single state or a couple congressional or Senate races, pour all the money into that, make it a competitive race, and maybe do well enough to lead to a runoff, maybe even win in some states. I have another video in the works about where I think the Libertarians could win in some of their states, in some states and congressional districts and Senate races. And yeah, I think that's their biggest downfall, is that they spend all their money on presidential campaigns that they can't win. All they're going to do, whoa, you get a few thousand votes in a few states, that's all they can do. There is nothing more they can do except maybe get a few thousand votes in a couple states. That's all the money's going to go to. And half of that are people that just don't even like either candidate. They just don't care or don't like either candidate. And it's stupid, but it's true. And I think that the other option is they're just stupid tweets and stupid, like, political positions. I consider myself to be libertarian, but certainly not as libertarian as some of these people. Like, look at this. From the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire. Legalize child labor. Children will learn more on a job site than in a public school. Like, what even is this? Like, you want to know why people don't vote for you? It's because you do stupid stuff like this. And your political positions aren't much better in terms of pretty much not caring about anything, wanting free roam. Like, you have crazy platforms. Your candidates are crazy, nonetheless. A lot of them are. You don't run good campaigns, but one of their biggest issues is the way they present themselves and their political positions. They want any chance of winning, they need to become more conservative. Now, I personally would only vote Libertarian if there was not an America First candidate on the ticket for the Republicans. So if they were to nominate Liz Cheney, Mitt Romney, maybe like a Mike Pence, although I'd probably vote for Mike Pence. In 2024, I would vote Libertarian. But if there's a Ron DeSantis, a Donald Trump, a Josh Hawley, more America First, I would vote Republican. But the only reason I would vote Libertarian is that the Republicans had an absolutely awful nominee. And I mean, you look at this tweet. Like I was looking at this Twitter page, and it has 3.3 likes and 10.9k reshares, and that was a few days ago. I'm sure it's gone up. And I was looking at they're barely getting 1k like retweets and barely a k likes. Like, this blew up, and this is what people think of the Libertarian Party. And then they wonder why they can't get elected. They blame the GOP and the Democrats for doing all this stuff, and it really just comes down to them. The Libertarian Party, they could be a brilliant third party, get people from both sides, all that, but I mean, I would never vote Libertarian, like I said, unless there was not an America First candidate, because they have awful nominees, awful campaigns. They can't do anything right. And it's kind of sad, but anyway, that's just my 2 cents on this whole thing. This tweet kind of made me want to make this video, and I'm glad I did, but it's sad. But thank you for watching. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, please like and subscribe.